everyone, welcome back to another video, and if you're new here, hello, my name is Choua, and in this video I am going to be talking about my makeup inventory, or like not talking about but like going through, you know what I mean. But yeah, I have took inventory of all of my makeup, whether it's opened and in my collection right now or they are brand new and unopened and in its packaging and everything. So I'm gonna go through them. I took photos of everything. I decided to do it this way for like the end of the 2025, beginning of 2026 makeup inventory, because along the way, more like mid-year, I'm probably going to do another walkthrough and swatch everything depending on how much makeup I get. Otherwise, I will save it till the end of 2026 to do all the swatching and showing you all of the makeup I accumulated within the year. But I am going through I'm going on a no-buy journey this year, so I'm not really anticipating a lot of makeup to be entered into my collection unless it is makeup from my Ipsy makeup box. That's the only way I am accumulating makeup this year. Otherwise, if I get it as a gift. But other than that, I am trying not to purchase makeup this year so that way I can save for other endeavors and other life priorities. But yeah, let's get to it. I am going to move myself to the side so that way I can put the pictures on screen for you all to see. I have my computer pulled up, so we'll talk about the numbers. I am going to compare the mid-year quantity to the end-year quantity instead of the start of 2025, because I technically didn't really count my inventory until March. So we're just gonna scrap that. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to find a system that will best help me track all my makeup and all my uses and everything. So we're just going to do with what we have and stick with the numbers that are the most accurate. How I'm going to talk about my products is I'm going to tell you the quantity mid-year and then the quantity end-year, and then also let you know how many I finished within a category or how many I decluttered. I'm not going to show you what I finished or decluttered. That's probably going to be for a different video. I already did a video of all the makeup that I finished within 2025. So if you want to see that, you can go ahead and check out that video after. But yeah, let's get to it because I know this video is going to be a long one. So for primer, I had 3 in the middle of the year, and then I ended the year with 3. I finished 3 primers by the end of the year. So 2 of these are brand new primers that I got in my makeup subscription box. And then the other one is the e.l.f. one, which is one that I'm panning right now. This is the only like opened primer that I have. I'm not gonna open the other 2 unless I really need to, or if I've already finished panning my e.l.f. primer. Moving on to liquid foundation. I had 6 in the middle of the year, and then I now have 5 at the end of the year. And with liquid foundations, I ended up finishing 2 of them and I decluttered 1 of them. So all of these foundations I have used already, so all of them are opened and in my collection. I am rotating through them. I am panning, or have 2 of them on my 26 items to pan in 2026. So hopefully my little kind of foundation collection will go down a little bit more. So next, moving down to foundation sticks. I had 2 in the middle of the year and now I have 3. I did not finish or declutter any. These 3 I have worn them throughout the year, and I don't know if I'm going to finish them. The AOA foundation stick is on my list to pan for the year, so we'll see if I can finish one by the end of the year, but I'm not bringing any more foundation sticks until then. For powder foundation, I had 2 in the middle of the year and I still have 2, and I have not finished or decluttered any. And then for tinted moisturizers or skin tints, I had 2 in the middle of the year, and now I have 5. I finished 1, and that was a QMS one in my Project Pan, so I'm pretty glad that I got that finished. For BB or CC cream, I had none in the middle of the year, and then I purchased one very small, kind of like a deluxe mini size from Ciate. And then prior to purchasing the Ciate BB cream, or is it CC cream? BB cream, I think. I decluttered one. Okay, so moving on to loose setting powders, I had 5 in the middle of the year and now I have 6, but I did manage to finish 3, so I do have 6. I feel like 6 is a really good number. Honestly, it's kind of low in my opinion because I love my powders. I use it all the time and I do prefer loose powders, and it is a product that I do pan quite frequently and very quickly. So we'll see how many I finish this year, but 6 should be enough to get me through the entire year. Next is pressed powders. I had 4 in the middle of 2025 and then now I have 5. But I did manage to pan 2 pressed powders within my project pan. So I have plenty of pressed powders. I have 2 unopened, which is my Ofra and Tarte. And then I have 3 that is open right now. Technically, Galactic and AOA, the pressed powder, those 2 are considered finishing powders. But I'm still gonna count them as just like the pressed setting powders category, or just pressed powders in general, because I do use it to set all over the face whenever I don't really want to go in with a loose powder. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. Okay, moving to concealers. This photo has both my liquids and cream concealers, and I did not put them in order or anything. I completely forgot about that. But anyways, here you'll see that I have 6 concealers. I had 4 liquid concealers in the middle of the year and now I have 6. But I did manage to finish 2 by the end of the year. My Tarte Shape Tape Radiant concealer that I had that I got in my makeup subscription box. I'm not going to open that up until I pan 1 liquid concealer to its entirety, and once I do that, then I'll open it up. And then for concealer sticks, I had 2 in the middle of the year and I still have 2, and I have not panned any yet. Moving on to concealer palette, I have 1 in the middle of the year and I still have 1 in the middle of the year. This one is my LA Girl concealer palette. This is also a part of my 26 items to pan in 2026, and so it's going to be one of those things that are just going to be sitting in like my main stash until I completely finish it up, which I'm really hoping that I can do it within this year. Moving on to cream or liquid blushes, I had 10 in the middle of the year and now I have 16. So I did accumulate a lot more. I did, however, declutter 2, but even then I still have maybe a lot more than I need to. Looking at the photo, I do genuinely really like all of those shades and formulas. I think the most unfamiliar blush right now is the Rare Beauty one, and I think also one of the Mally ones. But other than that, I have played around with quite a lot of those shades already, and I'm pretty okay with this being my cream and liquid blush collection. Moving to the cream and liquid bronzers, I had 3 in the middle of the year and now I have 4. I still have not used the Yensa bronzing drops. I'm going to probably reserve that product to use in the warmer months. So as soon as we start to hit spring and it starts to get warmer, I'll probably use it as kind of like a bronzing product all over the body, or using it with other foundations and whatnot. But as of right now, I feel like I don't really need to use this product because it is still winter. But all these other products I am okay having in my collection. I feel like I can get these done and used up. Okay, moving on to the cream or liquid highlighters. I had 4 in the middle of the year and now I have 5. I did manage to pan 2 and I decluttered 1. And I think 5 cream or liquid highlighters is plenty for me. I do like my cream and liquid highlighters, but I don't necessarily need more than 5, at least right now. just because one, I'm already using one as like my main liquid cream highlight on the cheeks. There's some of these that are the most appropriate to use as like a illuminating product, either as a primer or to mix into my foundations. So I'm okay with that. Say is the most recent one that I got in my makeup box. So I'm not going to use it right now. I will probably open it up and try out the formulas because I'm trying not to let things stay unopened in my collection for too long, because that way it's gonna get old and it's not going to perform well when I do want to open it up. And I don't want to open these products up like a year from now, you know what I mean? I want to be able to play with them, use them up, or get to know the formulas, and if I don't like it, I want to get it out of my collection within a reasonable time, so that way it gets used up by someone else and goes to a better home. So for Say, I'm probably going to reserve this product for a project where I can roll it in and use up and get to know it, maybe like a project 10 use or something like that. But as of right now, it's going to stay in my unopened stash. Now moving on to our powdered cheek products, which is one of my favorite categories. We're gonna start with the powdered blushes. So in the middle of the year, I have 22 and now I have 35. This category, I did accumulate a little bit more than I should have or anticipated. But then again, you know what? I'm not going to shame myself too much because I do love my blushes and I do feel like what I have in my collection right now, I am confident with like the formulas and the shades on my complexion. So the one thing that is new is the Real Hair Blush palette. Other than that, I have talked about these blushes already within my makeup purchase videos or my other kind of inventory videos, or even in other projects and whatnot. So all of these blushes I'm pretty happy with. Now moving to powder bronzers. I had 13 in the middle of the year and now I have 16. I brought in the LYS bronzer and the Aether Beauty one very late in the year. I think I purchased these in October or November as a part of like a birthday gift to myself. So those are my two newest additions. They all kind of look sort of the same. Like if you look at the Essence, the AOA, the e.l.f., the Jason Wu one, those are like pretty similar in shade. They're kind of like neutral, some leaning a little bit more cool, but you know, that's perfectly fine. And I only have two bronzer palettes still, which is fine with me. I do love my bronzers, but then again, I don't, like it's not, when it comes to bronzers, it's not like blushes where you can just keep a ton of shades and they'll work on your complexion. Bronzers is kind of one of those things where like you still have to kind of stick to sort of like a little umbrella or like a tone and stuff like that to really make it work on the face. So I am perfectly fine with 16. I did accumulate 3, but you know what? That's fine. That's perfectly fine. I am gonna be okay with that. Okay, so for powder highlighters, I had 7 in the middle of the year and now I have 11. And I'm not mad, honestly. Like a lot of these highlighters I do really love using, and I do use some of these as eyeshadow toppers or inner corner highlights too. So these highlighters have multi-purpose uses, so I'm not too mad about it. And I don't know, I feel like 11 is a good number. It's not like I have an absurd amount of highlights to the point where it's like I know I won't be able to go through any of them. So if I wanted to, I could dedicate 1 month to each of these highlighters to really get some use out of them. So I'm not too mad about that. I did declutter my Champagne Pop highlighter by Becca, but this is not counting towards the makeup numbers because it's not an active makeup item that I use on the face. I've only used it for one video, which was my cheer makeup video early last year, but other than that, I was keeping it for sentimental sake. Oh my gosh. I was keeping it for sentimental sake because that was my first high-end makeup purchase ever, and I have been keeping it just because I was a really big fan of Jaclyn Hill back then, and I really loved the highlighter and everything, but it is so old now. I think it's about 15 years old or something. So I am finally decluttering that because I do know that they still carry Champagne Pop, like Smashbox owns Becca now, and they still carry Champagne Pop. So if I do ever want to purchase Champagne Pop in the future, I probably will just purchase the mini size instead of the big size or like the normal size, just because I know that highlight takes forever to also pan, and Champagne Pop is a good highlight. It's a very nostalgic highlight to me, but I also do not need a big one, and also I just can't justify keeping such an old product lying around, especially when I have like a small space and I want to keep things organized and everything. So there's that. So now moving to the face palettes. These face palettes are mixed face palettes. Any face palettes that have only one category in it, so like a blush or a highlight or bronzers, I count those towards my blush, highlight, bronzer categories separately because they all just consist of one category product, versus these face palettes, they are a mix of other things. So in the middle of the year, I had 6 and now I have 8. And the reason why it's like that is because I did move 2 of them into sort of my declutter pile, but then I brought them back in, and so that's the reason why the number went up. The Natasha Denona Cupid Duo one and the Real Her Cheek Trio, those are the 2 that was in my declutter pile for a long time, and I decided to pull them back in because I am not confident to part with them yet. I still thoroughly enjoy them, and I made the cream blush and the Natasha Denona Duo work for me, so I pulled those 2 back into this category. And I am counting my Wonder Beauty blush and bronzer duo here as well, even though I only have the blush left, because I am counting that as an item. So once I finish the blush, that will count towards one face palette done. So that's the reason why it's in this photo. So moving on to eyebrows, I have 2 eyebrow pencils in the middle of the year, and I still have 2 eyebrow pencils, and I think that's enough for now because I am still using other products in my brows, like my eyebrow powders and stuff. So 2 should be fine. And then my eyebrow powders, I had 4 in the middle of the year and I still have 4. I don't think these numbers are going to change unless I get it in my makeup box. It's not going to increase. Hopefully I can get a lot of these done and out of my collection. But yeah, not planning on replenishing these products anytime soon. I had 1 eyebrow pomade in the middle of the year and I still have 1, which is probably gonna stay like that for a long time. For eyebrow gels, I had 2 in the middle of the year and now I have 3. I have 2 open right now, which are both Essence, and then I have the ABH Brow Freeze Gel, and I'm not gonna open that up until I am all done with my Essence Lash and Brow Mascara Gel. And then also I was able to finish 3 eyebrow gels. So that technically means that these 3 eyebrow gels that I have, I should have them finished by the end of the year. Just looking at the numbers of stuff that I am finishing within a year, that should be it. And so I shouldn't have to replenish this category until like the end of the year when it's Black Friday and everything. Moving on to eyebrow wax pencil, I had 1 in the middle of the year and I still have 1, which is my Ulta wax pencil. This is gonna stay the same. I'm going to probably try my very best to use this up within the year, and I think I might be done with it because or be done with wax, because I do like how it helps form my eyebrows, but I don't like how sometimes it pulls out my hairs. I like it, but at the same time I don't want to have bald patches in my eyebrows. So this category might be gone by the end of the year, depending if I can finish this wax pencil in time. So then moving on to liquid eyeliners, I had 4 in the middle of the year and now I have 8. And the reason why is because I had 4 unopened eyeliners from my makeup boxes that was stashed away, and I didn't count it towards my mid-year inventory because at that time I was only counting things that were opened already. This time around I wanted to start 2026 with all of my makeup, whether it's open or unopened, just so I can keep a mental note of what I do have and what I don't have. So that's the reason why I did manage to finish 1 eyeliner. I'm not planning to open up these 4 new ones until I use up one of them, or if I decide to pull one of them into like a project. So then for eyeliner pencils, I had 13 in the middle of the year and I still have 13. I feel like this is plenty when it comes to eyeliner pencils. If I do want to grow in this category, it's probably going to be colored pencils and not just black and brown, because when it comes to black and browns, I feel like having 1 of each is fine. Yeah, but I did declutter my Hollywood and Vine liner because I did say in previous videos that it was drying up, it was clumping, and it was really hard to apply. So I decided to declutter that one. Moving on to eye primer, I had 1 in the middle of the year and now I have 1. And this is my NYX glitter primer. I think I'm okay with eye primers right now because I am still just priming my eyes with concealers, which is fine with me. I don't have any problems with that. If there are any eye primers that come into my collection through my makeup subscription, I will welcome that. But as of right now, I'm not really looking for an eye primer. Moving on to mascara primer, I had 1 in the middle of the year, which was my AO8 Fat Lash primer, and now I have 2. I'm not going to open the Blink one until I am done with the AOA one, just because this is a category where having 1 open is more than enough. I don't feel the need to have multiple open, so this one should be good and it should last me throughout the entire year. So then moving on to mascaras, I had 7 in the middle of the year and now I have 10. I have 5 opened and 5 new ones. So the ones on top are the ones that are still brand new, unopened, unused, and then the ones on the bottoms are the ones that are opened right now. I think this is going to be enough mascara for the year. I would like to have another tubey mascara afterwards when I'm done with the Essence one, but I'm really hoping that I get them in my box so that way I don't have to go out and purchase it. Other than that, this category should be okay. I did finish 6 mascaras in 2025, so I'm hoping to maybe only have 1 or 2 unopened by the end of the year. Moving on to my eyeshadow singles, I had 26 in the middle of the year and now I have 32. That's because I decided to depot my Butter London Natural Goddess palette and add it to my single eyeshadows collection. So that's the reason why. And for this category, I'm not planning on growing this category unless it comes in my box once again, or I get things decluttered to me or gifted. I feel like this is enough for me when it comes to singles because I do have a lot of palettes. I do want to give love to those palettes and then also be able to rotate these single shadows whenever I can. Moving on to eyeshadow duos, I had 1 in the middle of the year and now I have 2. So the two that were added was the Shayna B Miami one and the Kimchi one. Those were a part of like a summer purchase through Ipsy. And so that's the reason why I have 3 duos now. I feel like that's plenty. I don't necessarily need eyeshadow duos. This is a category that I'm not really planning on expanding, and I probably will start like a official no buy for this category because it's not a category that I really want to have any in. If I'm being completely honest, I like my palettes, I like my singles, and if it's gonna be a duo, it's gonna have to be a duo that I can reach for all the time. it's gonna be something essential and something that's easy to travel with. Moving on to eyeshadow sticks. In the middle of the year, I had 2 and now I have 3. I'm okay with having these 3 as my eyeshadow sticks for now. I do, however, am starting to really like the convenience of these sticks because I don't have to get my hands dirty and they sit on the eyes really well and they are just so beautiful to use as a eyeshadow topper, eyeliner, in a corner highlight, stuff like that. So maybe in the future I'll try to see if, not try, but maybe in the future I will see if I want any more. But as of right now, these 3 are good enough for me. 2 of them are really good for like essential everyday wear for the in-office, natural days, and 1 of them is good for like colorful days. Moving on to liquid eyeshadows, I had 7 in the middle of the year and now I have 10. I do really like my liquid eyeshadows as well. I'm still trying to learn how to use them and to find the best method to use them on the eyes. But as of right now, I do really like them. I like the About Face formulas a lot. The Half Magic ones are kind of iffy. Still trying to get to know them a little bit more. And then I have one by Miss Cho Beauty. And I think this collection is okay for me right now. Having 10 is a good number. I may or may not declutter some of these at the end of the year, but we'll see about that. And then for cream or jelly eyeshadows, I had 5 in the middle of the year and I still have 5. And I decluttered 1 of them. For cream and jelly eyeshadows, it's still a relatively new category for me. And so I'm still trying to get to know it. I'm still trying to use it up and see if I like really like this category and then see if there's a place, like a permanent place in my collection and whatnot. But as of right now, I'm okay with having 5. I think 5 is enough right now for me. And if I do ever want to get any more in the future, I will think about it. But I know that cream and jelly eyeshadows, they can dry up. And so I don't want to get too many at a time. Just because if it starts to dry up, it's going to be a waste of my money and I'm going to be disappointed if I can't use it all up. Moving on to eyeshadow palettes, I had 45 in the middle of the year and now I have 48. I purchased 2 eyeshadow palettes for my birthday and then I believe I pulled 1 palette back into my collection from my declutter pile. I didn't pull any of them out of my declutter, I don't think. I think it was because I also got an eyeshadow palette from my makeup subscription. So that's the reason why the number went up. I did finish 2 eyeshadows, not palettes, but 2 eyeshadows. Just wanted to put it out there. And then I did declutter 3 palettes. So it's not a huge declutter, but at the same time, these are the palettes that I have been sitting on the entire year and I'm happy to have it decluttered and out of my collection. Okay, so moving on to lip products now. For lip balms, I had 5 in the middle of the year and now I have 6. I finished 2 of them and then I decluttered 1. I don't think I need any more lip balms. I do currently have this want where I want more lip balms because I've been using lip balms like every single day in morning and night, and I also use it sort of like a topper on the lips when I wear lip liners and stuff instead of like lip gloss or lip oil. But I know I don't need any more lip balm, so I need to really hold off on that. And then for lip primer, I had 1 in the middle of the year and I still have 1. This is my ColourPop Lippy Sticks primer. This category is going to be no more by the end of the year. It's something that I feel like I don't really need in my collection. So once I am done panning that lip primer from ColourPop, this should not be a category in my inventory any longer. Moving on to lip liners, I had 18 in the middle of the year and now I have 23. Which is perfectly fine. I do really like my lip liners. I did add a few with my Q4 purchases and I think my Q3 as well, I think. But I'm okay with that because I did pan 2 lip liners in 2025 and I do have quite a few rolled into like projects or on the list to pan for the year. So this category should be okay. It should go down throughout the year as I continue to play with makeup and use up my lip liners. Moving on to lipsticks, this is also including like bullet and jumbo pencil lipsticks. So anything with a cap that like, you know, you have to like roll up and everything, those are the products that I'm counting in this category. I had 26 in the middle of the year, and now I have 3. Not 3, oh my gosh, 30. And I did declutter 3 lipsticks. I don't need any more lipsticks. To be completely honest, I really don't. A lot of these lipsticks are my ColourPop lippy sticks, and they are getting really old. So I am hoping that I can get more use out of it this year and pan some of them, hopefully. Otherwise, I am going to have to eventually declutter them a little at a time, just because they're getting old and they're not performing well, and if they start to smell, you know, we'll see what happens this year. But the colors that I do really like, I hope that they still are okay to use, because I would like to use them up a little bit more throughout the year. Moving on to liquid lipsticks, I had 3 in the middle of the year, and now I have 5. That's because I purchased the About Face Matte Blur. I consider these as liquid lips, and so I'm perfectly fine with having 5 of these in my collection. They all are beautiful. One is a red, which I can use for, you know, big boss, lady energy days, and the rest of these are pretty muted that I can wear on a everyday basis, wear them with a lot of natural looking looks, or pair them with like colorful eye looks. So I'm okay with having 5. I do not plan to expand this category anytime soon, because I do have the V Cosmetics one and the Huda Beauty one. Those 2 are really old. Like I think they're like 3 to 4 years old. So I do want to use those 2 up before I bring any more in. And then for lip tints, I had 3 in the middle of the year, and I still have 3. I'm okay with having that many in my collection right now. However, I won't be mad if they show up in my makeup box, because I do like my lip tints, and I do enjoy them, especially during the warmer seasons, when I am outside a little bit more and I don't necessarily want a super sticky, tacky lip look, because my hair, it will be down. I don't want to get stuck on my face and everything. So I'm okay with that. Moving on to lip gloss or oils, I had 4 in the middle of the year, and now I have 10. That is because I brought some of them into my collection either through my makeup subscription box or through purchases. I also brought in the Essence lip oil back in from the decluttered pile. I just thought that since there's only a little bit left, I should just use it up instead of decluttering it. So that's the reason why this category kind of grew a little bit. However, I did manage to pan 2 lip oils or lip gloss within 2025. So if I just keep the numbers the way it is, I should be able to pan at least 2 or more throughout the entire year. Moving on to false lashes, I had 11 in the middle of the year, and now I have 10. I decluttered 1, and then I finished 1. I'm not planning on growing this category at all. If anything, I'm going to make it a side mission this year to really use up at least half of these this year, just so that it's not just sitting in my collection. I know they don't expire or anything, but at the same time, I just don't want to keep something in my collection if I'm not going to use it. And so that's the reason why that's kind of like a side mission for me in 2026. And then for lash glue, I had 2 in the middle of the year, and I still have 2. However, I did declutter 1. So in the middle of the year, I counted my magnetic liner as a lash glue, because that's the only time I'm using it is for magnetic lashes. But I decided to declutter it because I do not know how old that magnetic liner is, and I don't feel good about putting it on the eyes. So I decluttered it. However, I did purchase a new lash glue, so that's the reason why the numbers are the same. And last but not least, we have setting sprays. I had 1 in the middle of the year. I don't know if that's right. That might be right. I think so. But now I have 9. And that is because I did purchase quite a few during one of Ipsy's sale, either in October or November. And that was really to just stock up on setting sprays because I know I'm gonna be going through them like crazy throughout the year, and I don't want to really start my no buy year by having to purchase setting sprays. That's the reason why it's gone up. However, I did manage to finish 5 setting sprays in 2025, and then I decluttered 1 setting spray. So I feel like 9 setting sprays is more than enough. Hopefully, I mean, some of these cans are kind of small, so we'll see how long they last, but I'm feeling pretty good about it. That is it for today's video. Thank you so much for just being here and sitting through my entire makeup inventory collection with me. Let me know what you think about this video, this series, how I'm kind of keeping track of all my makeup and how you're doing it. I would love to know your process and your steps. Maybe it can also help like motivate me or influence me to do better when it comes to keeping track of the numbers and the usage and everything. But that is it for this video. Thank you so much for being here. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!